Welcome in to the Roll Tide Rewind. We appreciate you joining us here today. We appreciate all the recent support on the channel. As of today that I'm filming is July 8th. I don't know when I'll release this, but as of today, we've crossed 1,670 subscribers. We appreciate all the support and thank you guys so much. The season is almost here. The summer went by pretty quick, or it is going by pretty quick. We still got a little bit to go before the season starts, but as of the day I'm filming, we are less than 2 months away. The question I want to go over today and talk about player Lotzeir Brooks was a great freshman last year for Alabama. Is he poised for a sophomore breakout? Hopefully not a sophomore slump, if you ask me. But let's talk about Lotzeir Brooks' background. High school, 5'9", 193 pounds. He was only a three-star recruit, not too highly recruited by schools down south. And Kalen DeBoer came in, made it a priority to get him, and he came in the spring in 2025 and wreaked havoc in the wide receiver room, and then it's kind of hard just to not play him. And then after the second game against Louisiana Monroe, he played in every game and started in a few. In high school, 3-star, 60th wide receiver in the country. He broke a ton of New Jersey records, over 200 catches, 4,500 receiving yards, 64 touchdowns. I have a highlight reel of the channel of Lotzeir from high school. Be sure to check that out. As a freshman last year, 32 catches, over 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Playing time increased as the season went on. So against Florida State, I wrote down some of the numbers. Against Florida State, didn't really play much of any. Against Louisiana Monroe, comes in, 4 catches, 58 yards. Against Missouri, which I thought Missouri was one of his better games because he just made very impactful catches. 4 catches, 58 yards. And then against LSU, 4 catches for 67 yards, including a 53-yard catch, which we're about to get into shortly. And then 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns versus Oklahoma in the playoff game. That was by far his best game that he had. Well, looking at Lotzeir, he is a guy that came on, and we realized quickly he has a lot of ability, a lot of shiftiness, potential. He has all that. Let's go into some film. We're going to go over a few plays. I have 6 plays from last year that show different abilities Lotzeir possesses, and then we'll talk about what it looks like going into the 2026 season and what does Lotzeir bring to the table. Before we start with the film, as always, our sponsor ENAK Seasoning has something they like to say.
Crafted by a man who knows that great meals and tradition bring people together, ENAK blends bold spices with tradition to turn everyday dishes into cherished moments. You can use ENAK Seasonings on pretty much anything: chicken, rice, salad, pizza, wraps, vegetables, and much more. You can find products on ENAKFlavors.com, nationwide shipping available, as well as information on upcoming events they will be participating at.
Explore the world of flavor with ENAK, and as always, roll tide. We thank ENAK Seasoning for being the sponsor of the channel. Now let's go into the film. This play here is the 53-yard catch he had against LSU. It's not a crazy route. It showcases the speed of Lotzeir Brooks more so than anything. So highlighted here on the all-22, and he's just going to do like a very long post across the middle of the field, and he's way too fast for that LSU corner to keep up. He doesn't really do a stutter step. I don't really notice a stutter step here. It's more so just speed. He just kind of like lightning out of a bottle, vroom, kind of right there. You see where the speed kind of really kicks in. And I don't know if the play is necessarily made for him. I'm watching Ty's eyes kind of the whole time. He has options with Ryan Williams coming across the middle, but as Ty steps up, looks over to his right with Jam Miller and Jerry Bernard, he sees Lotzeir streaking across the middle of the field, and it's an easy catch for Lotzeir. He has all the space to make the play, but 53-yard catch, I think, was his longest catch of the season last year. So this showcases a lot of speed that he has. We'll go to the Georgia game. He had a few good catches. We'll go over a few plays of that. This play is a testament really to Ty. This is a great throw from Ty, but it's great for Lotzeir as he finds the hole in the Georgia zone defense. So he's able to get right around that linebacker, sit, catch the ball, and catch it into traffic. So he had a few drops last year, if I remember correctly. I know he had one against Wisconsin, but he was very great in catching in traffic, such as that. He is anticipating a hit from a linebacker here and a safety here, guys that are not afraid to hit people. And you see a lot of Lotzeir's like hand-eye coordination to make that play. So good thing to see here. Finding in the hole, catching in traffic is the big thing there. We'll go into the Vanderbilt game. This is kind of going off the script really on this play as Ty has to roll out and Lotzeir has to adjust to what his quarterback is doing. And receivers that can do this efficiently are the best receivers to have. And then it's a great throw from Ty because Lotzeir, as he starts his route to go across the middle of the field here, he notices Ty comes to the side. So Lotzeir is going to stop his route, break down, and he's going to run towards the sideline to help Ty out. But Ty notices this defender is right here. So if Lotzeir runs this way, this defender here has ability to jump and intercept it if he's going to come this way. But Ty bullets it right to the middle to Lotzeir, and Lotzeir stops, catches it, and gets to the field for at least 5 to 6 more yards there. So good thing to see there. Georgia game again. This is one of my favorite plays from Lotzeir this last year, just the toughness more so than anything. But I wonder how much more we utilize Lotzeir in the spree game. We didn't really use it in the screen game, not the screen game this year than last year. We didn't use it a ton, but I think he has great ability for this. Like if he's going to do plays like this where, and this is against Georgia, these guys are probably all very highly touted recruits, maybe playing the NFL, and he's just running right through their arm tackles. And this is on the last drive before halftime that put Alabama up by 2 scores. So this is a really big drive and a really big play to keep the drive going. But do you see this more this year? Do you see more of these pop plays for Lotzeir to kind of just get him out in the open field? Go to the Oklahoma game. This is the last play we'll go over from last year. Against Oklahoma was his best game, like we said, 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. And his last touchdown was an incredible play. So he's right there at the top of the screen, and he's going to run a corner route that he will have to adjust to. Ty throws a great ball. He has him beat, and instead of getting it all the way to the sideline, it is kind of a little not like a back shoulder throw, but it is a throw that Lotzeir has to adjust to, and he adjusts it as well as you can. And even he doesn't even fall. He's standing tall when he catches this. That's what the impressive thing on this play is how he's able to stand tall and not just fall straight to the ground with that adjustment. Another great athletic ability there from Lottie. But like I've been talking about, what is the potential for Lotzeir Brooks this year, and what more plays are you going to see run from Alabama's offense utilizing his ability? Well, they showed some in the spring game. This is Keelan Russell, who we think may be the starting quarterback for Alabama this season. Lotzeir is going to come on a simple motion, not really motion, just kind of across the field, and it's a little toss to him. Counts as the pass. But you wonder if this is something Alabama is going to utilize more, plays like this, these gadget plays, for a guy like Lotzeir Brooks. And if you didn't know this, he is wearing number 3. 3 is his new number, not 17. 17 is going to go to Trayshawn Brown, who also made noise this spring. Maybe if the freshmen need to make noise in the spring, you need to wear number 17. Gets the ball here and just able to get upfield. And these plays aren't meant, if they go for 70 yards, great, but they're not meant to go for 70. It's meant to be just like you're running a jet sweep, you're running a toss to the running back. It's just a ways to get your best players the ball. So that's one thing I'm wondering to see from Lotzeir in the offense. How much do we utilize his ability in the open field? And now we ask, what is the ceiling for Lotzeir Brooks this year? I think he can be an all-SEC player. I think that's a good ceiling. It's not saying that he's going to be an All-American. Because last year, think about this. When the year ended, did you trust Lotzeir Brooks more, or did you trust Ryan Williams more? Now Ryan Coleman Williams. Who did you trust more to end the year? So I think more people than you would think would say they trusted Lotzeir Brooks more than Ryan Coleman Williams. I think Ryan obviously is going to be the number 1 receiver this year, but there were times last year where he wouldn't get on the field as much as Lotzeir Brooks would get onto the field. And I think there's something to say about that. You're also looking at is he going to be a sophomore slump? The only way we see a sophomore slump is if one of these freshmen that come in are just really, really good, like Sadarian Morgan, or say sophomore Derek Meadows gets more of an opportunity, or transfer Noah Rogers gets healthy and he's better than we think he is. I wouldn't necessarily call it maybe a slump. Maybe it's just because there's other guys to throw the ball to. But hopefully he doesn't have an increase in drops. That's what we would like to not see. Ryan Coleman Williams had this issue last year. One thing I looked into, I was wondering who did one person asked me, who did Lotzeir Brooks remind me of his freshman year? And the person I came up with was, I don't know if some people remember him, but Darius Hanks back in 2008, 2011. He was a guy, wasn't as quick as Lotzeir Brooks was, but the way he caught the ball and the way he fought through catches, fought through arm tackles, it reminds me a lot of Lotzeir Brooks. And then Darius Hanks, I actually looked it up because I was curious. His best season at Alabama was 450 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. And 441 yards and 2 touchdowns. Very, very similar. Now, like we said, that was Darius Saints' best season, and that was just Lotzeir Brooks' freshman season. So I think the ceiling is definitely higher than that. But I think he can hit all SEC potentially this year. We'll see. Depends on how the rotation works. But let me know in the comment section what you think about Lotzeir Brooks. Do you think he's a guy that can break out this year, or is he going to be a guy that kind of sits kind of somewhere in the middle but still produces very well? Until then, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week and
Roll Tide.